The catastrophic failure of Dubai's man-made islands. Sunny V2.
Dubai's man-made islands were
True.
supposed to look like this. Luxury, exuberance, and grandiosity. Instead, after 20 years of work and $13 billion,
They just dump piles of sand. I didn't know about. I knew Dubai, there's some sketchy stuff like slavery or something going over there. You go over there, you go and you think you're vacationing. All of a sudden, now you have to build things and you don't get paid, or I don't know, whatever. Hey, it's a wacky place. But it looks like maybe they just took some sand and just deposited a little bit in various areas. So good for them.
they make up an unimpressive scatter of sand with a few barely recognizable continents. Where did it all go wrong? When the idea came about in 2001, Dubai had limited coast left for waterfront property, setting into motion the plan of, well, creating more coastline through the introduction of 4 new coastal mega projects.
Now, I've seen, wait, are these all different ones? He said 4 new ones. I've seen one of these 3 on the right, and they look crazy. I don't know which one. I think maybe this one, because I don't remember, like, did they actually get is this actually land here? Or is this just a writing on the, I don't know, man. It's either this one or this one I've seen. I think it's this one.
There was the world archipelago,
looks pretty crazy, man.
What was supposed to have been the universe surrounding it, the Palm Dira, the Palm Jebel Ali, and finally the Palm Jumeirah, which has since become the only successful development.
Okay, maybe I've seen this one.
Notable reasons. Firstly, the Palm Jumeirah was built prior to the other projects, having been completed in 2006 before the global financial crisis. On top of this, Jumeirah was the smallest and most easily accessible of the 4 projects, being built off the already established Al Sufu, a popular area known for being the most expensive district in all of Dubai. The Palm itself has been planned incredibly well, with a perfect mix of residential.
I mean, it looks really good, man. It looks really good. That being said, that's why it keeps doing that. Why does it keep switching me to 480p? It was playing just fine where I was. Whatever. It looks very nice. I just haven't heard. I mean, I've heard some sketchy things about Dubai.
Residential and commercial property,
as I'm sure we all
have.
have.
A self-sustaining area with businesses for the residents. However, that's not to say that the project has been without problems. Shortly after its completion,
I'm not experiencing interruptions.
That the Palm Jumeirah, as well as the 3 other mega projects, were all sinking back into the ocean at a rate of 5 millimeters per year. With one article stating, we're guessing that sand piled up from the ocean floor isn't all that good at sustaining the weight of tons of man-made structures.
You think, dude? Like, what do you mean, man? You just thought you could, hey, this whole global warming thing and ice caps melting and us being drowned, let's just put more sand there, you know? Let's just put more sand. Anytime it looks like a hurricane is going to come, just put more sand there. Put like an extra mile of sand past people's houses, and then we have nothing to worry about. Easy peasy. Stop playing with everything on the desk.
And so forth. The island's developer and Nikhil Properties responded to these claims by stating, the Palm is intact. If there was subsidence, you would see cracks in the buildings, windows popping out. We have no evidence of that happening, even going so far as to sue the builder, Penguin Marine, who simply stated that erosion could eat away at the islands. Then there's the issue of the water itself. The 3 man-made palms were designed with a crescent on the outside, protecting the residential houses on the inside from the open ocean. Although this has since resulted in issues with water flow, essentially turning the ocean into a lake by stagnating the water within the crescent. On top of this, a study was published in 2022 discussing the Palm Jumeirah Island's construction effects on the surrounding water quality and surface temperatures, which found that the island's construction permanently changed the quality and temperature of the water, causing yet another concern from the public to do with the environment. I have so many questions though, ecological and economic concerns. Did the construction of the islands drive away marine life? Where did the brought in sand come from, and what methods did they use to make sure that the original place of the sand didn't suffer any ecological disaster? When construction,
I never even thought of that.
The islands back in the early
we don't just have unlimited sand.
2000s, environmental.
That's a joke. I know there's always somebody. I say something like that, and there's always somebody just like, this guy thinks that we have unlimited sand, and it's like, dude, shut up. Like, just turn it off. Stop pretending that every YouTuber needs to always be factually correct all the time, okay? No one cares. We're not rocket scientists. I'm not teaching anybody anything. I'm just a fucking guy.
Sustainability wasn't the...
Like, why am I even getting mad? I'm getting mad. Nobody's even commenting on this video because I'm recording it right now. I'm just imagining that comment. That guy's just like, did you really just imply? Because it happens during the gambling thing too. Okay, dude, I'll just win at gambling. You're an idiot for thinking that all you have to do is win when you gamble, and then you won't suffer from, losing all your money. And it's like, my guy, clearly that's a joke, right? Clearly when I say gambling isn't bad, just win, it's a joke, but I feel like, we're getting progressively more stupid. It's crazy to me. Not my viewers though. My regular viewers, they're all geniuses. They're like, true, just to win. QTEEP is such a wacky guy.
Massive concern that it is these days. The islands were built by transporting 94 million cubic meters of sand from the sea
What are you doing?
floor, displacing marine life.
She's like messing with the green screen.
In the process. A Duke University study from 2006, which analyzed the island's impacts on marine wildlife, found that the Palm Jumeirah has buried and asphyxiated wildlife, increased turbidity, and changed the alongshore sediment transport, while also completely changing the wave patterns on the mainland. The 2006 WWF Living Planet report then found that at the time, the average person in the Emirates puts more demand on the global ecosystem than any other, giving the country the world's largest per capita ecological footprint.
Wow, really? More demand on the global ecosystem?
Part to projects such as the 4 man-made islands. And if these issues apply to even the most successful island, then the other 3 unsuccessful islands must have even more problems.
That one just looks really bad without the context of being able to view it from the sky. Like, that one just looks like they just put random pieces of island around and just called it a day and went, it'll be all right. We're fine. Don't worry about it.
For example, the Palm Jebel Ali to the south, which suffers from one of the most unfixable property-related issues, a terrible location. I had the chance to view the islands from the shore as they were being built. Even before viewing them in person, I could never understand why anybody would want to live in that location. The Palm Jebel Ali is located so far south of the city, its closest notable development is the Dubai Port and Industrial District, while the Palm itself extends from nothing besides the already existing desert.
It's always nice to live next to like ports, ship ports, airports, whatever. It's people will say it's some of the nicer places to live. There's nothing more beautiful than hearing planes landing all the time. It's like living right next to train tracks or a highway.
Which isn't exactly the greatest spot. The original plan for this palm included a new residential district at the entrance. Wow. However, as you can see, they never really got there. Some sand and road work has been completed on the palm, although if you look a little closer, there are signs showing that the project had to halt suddenly. For example, these broken sectors at the end of the palm indicate that they weren't quite finished laying sand. And see,
I thought
this
maybe
little island over here to the southwest, well, that was supposed to be another artificial island called the Dubai Waterfront, designed to combat erosion on the palm. However, as you can see, the waterfront project has also since been abandoned. Official data was published showing that Nikhil sold only 29 houses on the Palm Jebel Ali before it ceased construction in 2009, with this date hinting at the first major problem.
I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? I'm gonna run something by you. It looks like a very cool place to live and whatnot. If I don't see an Olive Garden, I'm not down. I know there's gonna be people. I don't even go to Olive Garden, okay? But there's like some things about living in bigger cities, and I've talked to people that are like, oh, my town doesn't have an Olive Garden. That's a good thing about my town. I'm telling you this right now. One time a hurricane hit, and the Applebee's near us was the only place that was open, and I went to that Applebee's because our power was out and we couldn't cook anything. And since they barely had any people there because a hurricane was going on, but they were connected to a hotel or whatever, the people that worked there were staying overnight. They were doing like $1 big ass like buckets of beer basically. And to me, that puts you in my good graces. If you're gonna do that for me during a hurricane, if you're gonna give me one. Applebee's can't be that bad. You know what I mean? Sure, everything there is made in like a microwave, or like the pasta is heated up in a bag of boiling water or something like that. But overall, $1 beers I can forgive all your other past mistakes.
Dubai has been hit by the global financial crisis, especially in real estate. Mega projects like the artificial island off the coast are in danger of collapse. Many construction sites have shut down.
The global financial crisis evaporated demand for Dubai housing, with prices falling by over 60% in 2008 and 2009. The empty Palm Jebel Ali was abandoned, as Dubai's lower property prices meant Nikhil could no longer earn enough to cover its construction costs, which was then tied in with an even more serious problem.
So what do you put there? The
developer of the man-made islands was funded by the Dubai government, which relied on oil for its income, which over
1,500 people? Feels like there should be more.
For a 6-month period in 2008, dropped from $140 a barrel to $40 a barrel.
Yep.
This meant that on top of being unable
Nobody
to
was traveling.
property prices they needed, the developers no longer had the money to build the homes in the first place, and it's not like a better location offered a fix to this problem. The Palm Dira to the north was set to be Dubai's largest of the 3 palms, possibly for its central location close to the city and airport. However, this project made it no further than an entrance and a small section at the tip of the crescent. For this reason,
how did they build the far end first?
the project was rebranded as the Dira Islands, with the goal of utilizing the half-built area to feature 80 hotels, multiple residential towers, as well as a golf course. The project should be completed in accordance with Dubai's 2040 master plan, which might still be sooner than the most catastrophic of the 4 man-made islands, the World.
Here we go.
The 2003 promotional video for the World described it as an island paradise where unprecedented opportunity can be found, before going on to state that
it's meant to look like the world, I'm assuming, based on that logo.
Residents
it didn't really look like it there.
Will enjoy an exceptional array of retail venues. The video showed lavish green islands with
very low quality video.
Boats and cafes, calling it the ultimate in exclusivity. And while this might be true to some extent, it's likely because nobody else has any desire to be there. The islands themselves look like an absolute travesty. North America and Canada
they don't even
shaped like a diamond and cut off by what appears to be the North Pole, while Greenland is the same size as the North American continent, when in reality Greenland is approximately 20 times smaller. Australia looks more like the head of a dog.
Australia is huge.
New Zealand is shaped like an archway and is missing the bottom half of the country, yet the shaping of the islands is a pretty small problem in comparison to their complete lack of development.
I feel like the logo looked better. Like the logo was a little closer. I could be like, oh, I get why it's called the world or the earth or whatever. I already forgot what it's called. But like that didn't look like anything at all.
Over 90% of the islands are completely empty, despite being 60% sold 15 years ago, with most being used for Google Maps advertising of computer stores, cafes, and of course the swag like Ohio beach. However,
swag like Ohio.
There hasn't been any construction on the islands. A $7 million house was built by the developers in the northwest corner of Greenland, which was then...
I wonder if he made this video because he just uploaded it recently, because on Twitter there's this picture trending of 2 of these islands, and I didn't know it was these islands, but now that I look, it's like, oh, it's these islands. One was named Ohio 1 and Ohio 2. And I was wondering if maybe he saw that and he was like, what are these? What's up with these islands? And he looked into it and he was like, oh, it's even worse.
And bizarrely gifted to the German Formula 1 driver Michael Schumacher.
My favorite driver.
On the project, or given any indication that he's even visited the house. On top of this, the island of Lebanon has been developed into a beach club, which can be used to escape the noise of the city. When it was visited by Yes Theory in their Exploring Dubai's Empty Islands video, he showed that the Lebanon island was fairly empty, yet he also noted that it was right in the middle of COVID, which likely impacted its popularity at the time. The beach club describes itself as the first development to open its doors to the public, yet this might hint at why the rest of the world's islands are yet to be developed. There's nothing else around. Without any close businesses or things to do, people aren't going to build houses out there, but at the same time without
and like how that transportation has to be a nightmare for that, because like you're just going to build a road to like each individual island or something. I don't know, man.
Houses, business owners aren't going to go.
Can't really tell how big they are from.
Given the isolated location, the only people
I mean, they're decent size. They could actually get a road running through there. They could get roads running through these, but it would look probably pretty ugly.
Use any such business.
Water's very blue though.
Those already on the islands, because it's not going to be efficient for a mainlander to get on a boat and travel all the way out to the world just to buy something at a store. Even then, what kind of business are you going to launch in the middle of the ocean with nothing else around? What's even crazier is that between 2023 and 2028, Nikhil Properties plans to develop another set of islands around the universe, which seems totally crazy given the lack of success on the existing islands.
Oh, they're building around the Earth. You see, you've got this is the Earth, of course. It looks a little better there, I guess. I mean, this looks like South America-ish. I don't know, man. And then also this is the sun and the moon, and this is a galaxy. I don't know.
Islands, for which a Reddit user had a different theory about their failure. My understanding is that when the master developer sold the islands, you didn't just buy a plot of sand in the sea, you bought much more. The land was sold with infrastructure, and that included electricity, potable water, waste management for trash, waste management for sewage, transportation links, water taxis. When the master developer handed over the islands, they said, nope, you're on your own, none of the above.
Well,
the reason why so few have built on their islands is because now they have them, they have to build their own power plants, desalination plants, water sewage treatment facilities, find someone to take all their trash, and provide all the transport to bring all their guests to and fro.
See, if we could find a way to get power to people's houses and like in every home we could have like a tiny reactor of sorts that would be insanely efficient and renewable in some way, we'd really be set. Like this would be the perfect plan, if we were smarter and we focused more on renewable energy, and we could condense it to where we could put it in everyone's house, and not just like solar panels, because solar panels only give you so much. It'd be nice if you could just completely just run your house, a mansion's even worse, dude. There's people that have just like my parents have solar panels on their roof. They live in North Carolina, and it cuts their bill down quite a bit, but it doesn't cover all their power needs. They still have to pull from the grid for winter. They still have to pull for the grid a little bit in the summer. I think in the summer they don't pay anything, but they still pull from the grid anytime that isn't summer. So it's like, and they have a decent sized house. They don't have a mansion. You know what I'm saying? A mansion's going to be even worse to keep the AC running, to keep lights on, to do whatever. Like, that's the thing, man. When these people buy these like $20 million houses, they don't realize like how much it takes to just maintain that. Not even from like having to put because obviously you don't have to put a power plant in if you buy a house in the Hollywood Hills or something like that. But like you have to have somebody that works for you, that cleans the place and keeps up with certain things, because you're probably not going to do landscaping. You're probably not going to do anything. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to clean this place. You don't know how to take care of this place. You have no clue what you're doing. It's a full-time job to take care of that home. Okay? And this is why I like $500,000 homes. Or, listen, not current $500,000 homes. I'm talking about homes that were $500,000 in like 2015 when house pricing was like not insane. That's going to get you like a 4 to 5 bedroom house. in like 2015, $500,000 is going to get you like a 4 to 5 bedroom house. And it's not some insane thing, okay? It's not gonna, it's not gonna have some super crazy Dubai stuff, but it's gonna give you some space. I'm like an old school type of guy. I don't these like people that buy these multi-million-dollar mansions. You don't make me. I'm jealous of your money. I'm not jealous of how you spend it, because quite frankly, I think you spend it like a moron. You know what I mean? And that's coming from somebody who isn't the best at spending money, but I definitely know that I won't. I don't go crazy. You know what I mean? A lot of the cars that I want to get are cars that are not going to cost me 6 figures over. Although I will admit, there's Lambos, of course. These supercars, you cave, you like them. Would I buy more than one? No, because a part of me is like, come on, bro.
For most developers, they don't have the experience, ability.
But I love it just being like, you're wasting money on your thing. But my thing, cars that I like, it's not a waste. But granted, most of the cars I get aren't going to be that much. Oh, a Chevelle SS. Oh, a Lincoln Continental, like a 70s Lincoln Continental, like an FBI vehicle. I could probably find something like that for a couple grand that's in decent shape. You know what I mean? From somebody. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, there's going to be collectors trying to look and sell. But if I'm patient, I can find it. What am I talking about? We're talking about Dubai Islands, not cars.
Or funding to do all the above. The only thing they could do is walk away or try to find a new buyer for their island, but knowing the current facts, who would buy them? Despite these limitations, a luxury hotel complex called the Heart of Europe has recently been completed on the European islands in the world, which has some absolutely insane
It's potentially kind of, it's interesting. I like the fact that it transitions colors like a rainbow, but then also it kind of looks like maybe one of those Russian like old apartment buildings.
Features such as a snow room, a massive sauna, and an underwater bedroom, which in a weird way shows
that looks cool.
The project has been somewhat successful.
That looks really cool.
The point of the islands was to increase Dubai's coastline and tourism by doing something unprecedented. And while only one of the 4 mega projects has been successful, they've certainly generated some very interesting discussion.
I mean, it does look pretty cool. Also, snow room, I can't say I'm interested. Snow is like cool in a context where like I don't have to drive through it, so I understand the point. Like, everyone likes to look at snow. No one wants to drive through it. It sucks. But snow on like a mountain hillside or whatever, it's like a aesthetic thing. Like, you just put me in a room with fake snow, it's like, oh, whatever. It's like the landscape that gets to me. It's like saying, this is our river room, and you walk in and then there's just like a little trail of water going across, and it's like, I could just look at a river. It'd be much more beautiful. You know what I mean? What are we talking about? Dubai? Anyways, that was a video, and we learned a lot.